My girlfriend's secret wish changed me forever. Meet Alex, a quiet, reserved young man in his late 20s. He's the kind of person who blends into the background, an office worker who spends most of his time crunching numbers and answering emails. His world is orderly, predictable, but beneath that calm exterior, Alex hides a secret that no one, not even his closest friends, could ever imagine. Alex is a crossdresser, not by accident but by choice. It started in his teenage years, when he found solace in the feel of soft fabrics and the thrill of slipping into his sister's clothes when she wasn't around. But what began as a fleeting curiosity turned into a deep part of his identity. Crossdressing became his form of self-expression, a way to connect with a side of himself that the world wasn't ready to understand. He didn't share this with anyone, not even his family. At work, Alex is known for being professional, responsible, and most of all unremarkable. His colleagues have no idea about the complexity of his personal life. They only see the office worker in collared shirts and khakis, the guy who always answers his emails on time and makes sure the meetings run smoothly. However, his private life is different. At home, Alex finds refuge in the clothes that allow him to become someone else, someone free. It's more than just dressing up. It's a transformation that makes him feel powerful, alive, and unapologetically himself. But this secret has always weighed heavily on him, creating a constant tension between who he truly is and who he has to pretend to be. The story takes place in Alex's apartment, a small but cozy space in a city that never sleeps. The apartment is modest, just a few mismatched pieces of furniture, a small kitchen with a cluttered counter, and a bedroom that holds a secret. There, hidden in the back of his closet, are carefully folded clothes, dresses, skirts, heels, and wigs that Alex only wears when he's alone. It's his sanctuary, but also his prison. The atmosphere is thick with the feeling of isolation. It's the kind of place where Alex can be himself without fear of judgment or scrutiny. But despite the comfort of his space, there's always a sense of anxiety lurking in the corners. The fear of being discovered, of having his carefully constructed world shattered, haunts him daily. Emma is Alex's girlfriend, and she's everything he's ever wanted in a partner. She's smart, confident, and effortlessly charming, and she has a warmth about her that makes everyone feel at ease. They've been together for over a year now, and Alex can't help but feel deeply in love with her. She's kind, understanding, and seems to accept him for who he is. At least, that's what Alex has convinced himself of. But there's something Alex has never told Emma. A part of him is terrified that revealing his secret, his crossdressing, would change everything between them. He's seen the way society reacts to people like him, and he can't bear the thought of losing Emma. She's the one person he's allowed himself to be vulnerable with, but even with her, he's hidden the truth. The tension in their relationship is subtle but undeniable. Alex often finds himself wondering if Emma would still love him if she knew the truth about his secret life. Would she accept it, or would she see him as someone else entirely? It started with a single, innocent question. "Alex," Emma said one evening as they sat on the couch watching a movie, her voice casual but probing. "If you could switch lives with a woman for a day, would you do it?" Alex's heart nearly stopped. She had no way of knowing, no way of guessing the truth. But her words hit a little too close to home. He forced a chuckle, keeping his expression neutral. "I mean, I don't know. Maybe. It'd be interesting to see how different things are, I guess." Emma smirked, stretching out her legs and resting her feet on his lap. "Really? You don't think it'd be fun to dress up, put on some makeup, wear heels? Experience life from a whole different perspective?" She was teasing, but Alex could feel sweat forming on the back of his neck. His mind raced. Was this just playful curiosity? Or was she testing him? He shrugged. "I guess it'd be kind of weird, though. Not really my thing." Emma hummed thoughtfully, twirling a lock of her hair. "I don't know. I think you'd make a pretty cute girl." Alex felt his stomach tighten. He laughed it off, shaking his head. "Yeah, sure. In another lifetime, maybe." Emma let the topic drop, but Alex couldn't shake the feeling that she had lingered on his answer just a little too long. He needed to be careful. For the next few days, Alex found himself on edge. Every glance Emma threw his way, every offhand comment she made, felt like a potential trap. Had she found something? A trace of foundation on his makeup wipes? A lipstick smudge on his bathroom sink? Or worse, Had she seen him that one time he forgot to lock the bedroom door? The paranoia gnawed at him. But despite the fear, he couldn't stop. Late one evening, he finally had some time alone. Emma was at a friend's party, and he had the apartment to himself. The moment he heard her car pull out of the driveway, he rushed to his room, heart pounding with anticipation. He opened his closet, hands shaking as he pulled out the clothes that made him feel alive. His carefully hidden dresses, the smooth stockings, the delicate heels that he loved walking in when no one was watching. Tonight, he needed this. He slipped into a soft, pastel pink dress that hugged his body just right, the fabric silky against his skin. He brushed on makeup, light foundation, a soft pink lip, a hint of eyeliner that made his eyes pop. For a brief moment, standing in front of the mirror, he wasn't Alex. He was someone else, someone free. The thrill of it sent shivers down his spine. But his peace was shattered by the sound of keys jingling at the door. Emma! She wasn't supposed to be home yet. Panic surged through him as he scrambled to wipe off his makeup. His hands fumbled with the dress zipper, but his fingers felt clumsy, frantic. He nearly tripped over his heels as he reached for his closet, shoving everything inside just as the door swung open. Emma stepped in, tossing her bag onto the couch. "Hey, babe. The party was boring, so I left early. What are you up to?" Alex swallowed, trying to steady his breathing. Nothing. Just watching a movie." Emma's eyes flicked to him, then to the room. For a moment, Alex thought she noticed something. Maybe the faintest trace of lipstick still on his lips, the way his shirt collar was a little askew. She hesitated, but then she just smiled. "Mind if I join?" Alex exhaled shakily. "Of course." But his hands were trembling the entire time. After that night, Alex knew he had to be more careful. But he also couldn't stop. The thrill, the fear of getting caught, it was intoxicating. He started taking more risks, wearing little touches of femininity even when Emma was home. A pair of silky panties beneath his jeans. A hint of mascara when he knew they wouldn't be out long. The rush of knowing she was right there, inches away, completely unaware. Or was she? Some days, Alex caught Emma watching him a little too closely. Her eyes lingered longer than usual. She'd stare at his hands when he spoke, as if trying to catch the way his nails looked too neatly filed. Then one day, Emma made a suggestion that turned his world upside down. "Let's play a game," she said one Saturday afternoon, a mischievous glint in her eyes. "I dare you to let me do your makeup." Alex froze. She was smiling, playful, but there was something deeper in her gaze. Was this just fun for her? Or was she testing him? "I mean," he forced a laugh, "I'd look ridiculous." Emma tilted her head. "Oh, come on. You've got great skin, and I bet you'd look cute." His heart hammered against his ribs. He could say no, laugh it off, make an excuse, but he didn't, because deep down, a part of him wanted this. "Fine," he muttered, trying to sound like he was just going along with the joke. "But don't make me look too ridiculous." Emma grinned, grabbing her makeup bag. "Trust me, you're going to love this." Alex sat stiffly as Emma leaned in, her fingers soft against his skin as she applied foundation. His heart pounded as she swiped mascara onto his lashes, the feeling strangely familiar yet different when someone else was doing it. When she finished, she pulled back, smiling. "You look." She hesitated, tilting her head. Alex swallowed. "Ridiculous." Emma shook her head. "No. You look kind of beautiful." The air between them shifted. The room felt smaller. Alex forced a chuckle, trying to break the tension. "Well, let's hope no one sees me like this." Emma's smile faltered for just a second. Then she reached for a tube of lipstick. "Let's try one more thing," she said softly. As she leaned in, Alex could feel his breath hitch, his mind screaming at him to stop this before it went too far. But he didn't move. And when Emma finally pulled away, a knowing smile on her lips, Alex knew. She had suspected the truth all along. And now she had proof. The weight of Emma's gaze lingered on Alex long after she set the lipstick down. He tried to act normal, but he knew. She knew. Emma had played the game well, leading him into a trap disguised as playful curiosity. Now, she wasn't teasing anymore. There was something serious in her expression, a flicker of understanding mixed with something else, excitement, amusement, suspicion. Alex swallowed hard. His mind screamed at him to laugh it off, to brush this away like it was nothing more than a silly joke between them. But his throat felt dry, his body frozen in place. Emma finally broke the silence. "Alex," she said softly, her fingers brushing against his cheek. "Have you done this before?" His breath hitched. He could lie. He could shake his head, pretend this was all new to him. But deep down, he knew Emma wasn't stupid. She had noticed the signs, the little things, the subtle hints he had thought he was hiding so well. He was cornered, so he gave her the safest answer he could think of. "Once or twice," he muttered, his voice barely above a whisper. Emma's lips curled into a slow smile, her eyes never leaving his. "Really?" she mused. "Because you look a little too comfortable like this." Alex forced a laugh. "Maybe I'm just a natural." Emma hummed thoughtfully, reaching for a makeup wipe. "Well," she said, "if this is something you've tried before, I have a crazy idea." She held up the wipe but didn't move to remove his makeup. Instead, she leaned in, her voice barely above a whisper. "What if we take this a step further?" Alex's stomach flipped. "What do you mean?" Emma's smile widened. "I mean," she said, "what if I dress you up properly? Not just a little makeup. The whole thing. Outfit, hair, accessories. Everything." The air in the room turned electric. Alex's mind raced. This was dangerous, too dangerous. If he let this happen, there was no going back. Emma would see him fully transformed, would know just how much he had longed for this. And yet, the temptation was unbearable. His heart pounded, his body screamed at him to say no, to end this before he lost control. But instead, he heard himself say, "Okay." Emma wasted no time. She jumped up from the bed, grabbing his hands and dragging him toward her closet. "I have the perfect outfit," she said, her voice brimming with excitement. Alex stood frozen as she sifted through her clothes, finally pulling out a soft lavender dress. It was elegant yet playful, cinched at the waist with a flowing skirt. "This will look amazing on you," she grinned. Alex hesitated. "Are you sure about this?" Emma smirked. "Oh, I'm very sure. Now strip." His cheeks burned, but he obeyed. The moment the dress slid over his skin, something shifted. It fit almost too perfectly. The fabric hugged him in ways that felt both foreign and familiar. His fingers ran over the soft material, his heart pounding. Emma stepped back, looking him up and down. "Wow," she murmured. "You're actually beautiful." Alex felt his throat tighten. "Hold on," she said suddenly. "We're not done yet." She disappeared for a moment and returned with a blonde wig, a pair of heels, and a delicate silver necklace. Alex's hands trembled as she gently placed the wig on his head, adjusting it so it framed his face. The moment she stepped back, her expression changed. Something between awe and realization flickered in her eyes. "Alex," she whispered, "or should I say, Alexa?" His breath caught. Alexa. The name sent shivers down his spine. Emma had given him a name. Not just a joke, not just playful teasing, she had named the person he had hidden for so long. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then Emma did something unexpected. She took his hand and guided him toward the full-length mirror. Alex's stomach twisted as he looked at his reflection. But the person staring back at him wasn't Alex. It was someone else entirely. Someone he had only ever seen in glimpses, in stolen moments when he was alone. Alexa. And the strangest part, she looked real. Alex felt his breath hitch. His fingers twitched as he reached up to touch the wig, then his face. His reflection mimicked his movements, the girl in the mirror looking just as shocked as he felt. He barely noticed Emma stepping behind him, resting her chin on his shoulder. "You look perfect," she whispered. His pulse pounded in his ears. This was no longer a game. Emma wasn't laughing. She wasn't mocking him. She had known, and she had wanted this. The realization sent a jolt of panic through him. He turned to her, his voice shaky. "Emma, what is this? Why are you doing this?" Emma's expression softened. "Because I've known for a long time," she admitted. "I've seen the way you look at my clothes when you think I'm not watching. The way you admire my makeup. The little signs. And you know what?" Alex swallowed hard. Emma smiled. "I think it's beautiful." For a moment, Alex thought he might collapse. She knew. She had always known. And instead of being disgusted, she had embraced it. His mind swirled with emotions: relief, fear, excitement, confusion. But before he could say anything, Emma's voice cut through the storm in his head. "I want to make you an offer." Alex blinked. "An offer?" Emma nodded, her eyes shining. "I want to help you explore this. Really explore it. Not just in secret. Not just for a few stolen moments." His breath caught. She stepped closer, placing a hand on his cheek. "I want to take you out." Alex's stomach dropped. "Out?" Emma grinned. "Yes, out. As Alexa. Fully dressed, fully confident. No hiding. No shame." Panic shot through him. "Emma, I can't." "Why not?" she challenged. "You're already her. I see her. The only thing stopping you is fear." Alex opened his mouth to argue, but no words came out. Because she was right. This was his dream. And his nightmare. He wanted this more than anything. And yet, he was terrified. Emma tilted her head, watching him carefully. "So, Alexa, what's it going to be?" The question hung in the air, heavy with possibility. This was the moment where everything changed. And Alex knew. Once he said yes, there was no turning back. The room felt suffocatingly silent. Emma's words lingered in the air, a challenge, an invitation, a dare. "I want to take you out. As Alexa." Alex's heart pounded, so hard he thought Emma might hear it. Could he do this? Could he really step out of the safety of these four walls and let the world see Alexa? His reflection in the mirror stared back at him. No, her. Alexa was real. And for the first time, she wasn't just a fleeting illusion in stolen moments of secrecy. She stood before him, fully formed, undeniable. His fingers curled into the soft fabric of the dress. Fear gripped his chest, a suffocating weight. He wanted this. God, he wanted this. But what if someone recognized him? What if the wrong person saw? What if this ruined everything? Emma took his hands gently, grounding him back to reality. "Alex," she whispered, her voice soft but firm. "No one is going to know. All they'll see is a beautiful girl." He swallowed hard. Emma tilted her head, studying him. Then, as if sensing his hesitation, she smirked. "Okay," she said, stepping back. "If you're too scared, I won't force you." Alex's eyes flickered up. The way she said it, calm, almost dismissive, sent a spark of frustration through him. Emma knew exactly what she was doing. She was challenging him, daring him. His pulse quickened. He hated backing down. Emma smiled knowingly, crossing her arms. "We can just stay in. It's fine. You can just be Alexa in secret forever. No one else ever has to see her." That did it. Something inside Alex snapped. He straightened his shoulders, forcing down the nerves choking him. "Fine," he said, voice stronger than he felt. "Let's do it." Emma's eyes lit up. "Really?" Alex exhaled sharply. "Yeah. Let's go." Emma grinned. "Good girl." A shiver ran down his spine. There was no turning back now. Emma wasted no time. Before Alex could second-guess himself, she grabbed a purse, handed him a small jacket, and led him toward the door. His legs felt like jelly as he stepped into the hallway. The outside world loomed beyond the apartment walls, an unpredictable monster waiting to devour him. Every step toward the door felt heavier. Was this a mistake? His hand hovered over the doorknob, breath shallow. Emma placed a reassuring hand on his back. "You're okay," she murmured. "Deep breaths. You're just a girl going out with her best friend." Alex swallowed hard. He forced himself to nod. And then, before fear could win, he opened the door. The hallway was empty. Relief flooded him, but it was short-lived. Because as they reached the elevator, the door slid open, and a neighbor stepped out. Alex's breath hitched. Mr. Davidson, the old man from down the hall. Always nosy, always chatty. Alex's entire body locked up. It was over. He was caught. Davidson's eyes landed on him, narrowing slightly. Seconds stretched into eternity. Then, a polite nod. "Evening, ladies." Alex's stomach nearly dropped through the floor. Emma smiled easily. "Evening." She nudged Alex gently, and somehow he found the strength to return a weak smile. Davidson didn't even hesitate before continuing down the hall. Alex stared after him, disbelief crashing over him in waves. He didn't recognize him. The disguise had worked. Adrenaline surged through his veins. Maybe, just maybe, he could pull this off. The night air was crisp as they stepped onto the street. It was happening. It was really happening. Alexa wasn't just a fantasy anymore. She was walking in the open, breathing the same air as everyone else, existing in the world outside of secret mirrors and locked doors. Emma grabbed his hand, squeezing it. "You're doing amazing," she whispered. Alex couldn't find the words to respond. Because for the first time, this didn't feel like a game. It felt real. A wave of emotions hit him all at once: exhilaration, terror, freedom. They walked past stores and cafes, and every moment was a battle against the paranoia clawing at his mind. Every glance from a stranger felt like an accusation. Every passing car felt like it could hold someone who knew him. But nothing happened. No one pointed. No one whispered. No one even noticed. For the first time in his life, he felt invisible in the best way possible. Until... Alexa! The name rang out like a gunshot. Alex froze mid-step, his entire body going cold. His blood turned to ice. He turned slowly, every movement feeling impossibly slow. And then, his worst nightmare materialized before him. Standing just a few feet away was his best friend, Jake. Jake, the one person who could ruin everything. The one person who had never known. Alex's heart pounded, so hard he thought he might pass out. Jake's eyes were locked on him, his expression unreadable. Did he recognize him? Had he figured it out? Emma subtly shifted closer, her grip on Alex's hand tightening. "Hey," she greeted casually, but there was a slight edge to her voice. Jake's gaze flicked between them, then to Alex, and then a slow smile spread across his lips. "I almost didn't recognize you," he said, shaking his head. Alex's breath caught. Did he know? Was he testing him? Jake let out a small chuckle. "Damn, I've never seen a girl look that nervous before." Alex forced a laugh, though his stomach was still in knots. Yeah," he mumbled, his voice just slightly higher than usual. Jake studied him for another long second, then shrugged. "Anyway," he said, "you girls heading somewhere fun?" Alex barely heard him. He was too busy praying he wouldn't see through the disguise. Too busy wondering. Was this a close call? Or had Jake already figured it out? The uncertainty hung over him like a storm cloud. Then Jake smirked. "Well, don't let me hold you up." He gave Alex a wink. Alex nearly collapsed. "See you around, Alexa." Then he was gone, leaving Alex with the terrifying realization that his secret might not be so secret anymore.